Our village, Oakhaven, sat beside the Whispering Woods, a place of deep shadows and strange sounds. The trees grew so close, even on the brightest day, the ground inside was dark. The wind in the leaves sounded like whispers, sometimes calling your name. There were rules. The first, never enter the woods. The second, if you hear a voice, do not answer. These rules kept us safe. But time dulls fear. A new generation saw adventure, not danger. The woods were waiting, the darkness was stirring. The story begins with a single step across the border. Elias was young, strong, and foolish. He laughed at the old stories and mocked the rules. When his hunting dog chased a rabbit into the Whispering Woods, Elias didn't hesitate. Lena, his wife, begged him not to go. "Let the dog go. The woods will take you." But Elias only smiled. "I'll be back before sunset. Nothing in there can harm me." He grabbed his axe and stepped over the mossy stones marking the border. The forest swallowed him whole. The sun set. Elias did not return. Lena waited at the edge of the village, heart heavy with dread. Others joined her, lanterns in hand, but no one dared cross the border. They called his name. The woods answered only with silence. All night they searched the edge, but found nothing. No sign of Elias, no sign of his dog. It was as if the Whispering Woods had eaten them. The village felt the old fear return. The rules had been broken. The woods had claimed another. Lena's cries echoed in the darkness. The villagers could only watch the trees, powerless. The border felt closer than ever. The forest was awake, and Oakhaven remembered why it was afraid. The first empty chair appeared at Lena's table. The whispers grew bolder. The woods were not finished. 3 days passed. The village mourned Elias, certain he was lost. Then, on the 4th morning, he walked out of the woods. He looked unharmed, his face calm. Lena ran to him, but his eyes were empty. "I am back," he said, voice flat. At first, the village celebrated. But soon they noticed the change. Elias was quiet, distant. He stared at nothing for hours. The man who returned was a stranger in Elias's skin. The thing that came back was a perfect, terrible copy. Oakhaven was no longer safe. The hunger had only begun. Lena tried to live with the man who called himself her husband, but the warmth was gone. At night, she lay awake, afraid of the stranger beside her. One evening, she confronted him. "Who are you? Where is my Elias?" The next morning, Lena was gone. Her bed was empty, her shawl still by the door. Footprints led from her cottage straight to the Whispering Woods. The chair beside Elias at the table stayed empty. The villagers gathered, fear turning to rage. The second empty chair was only the beginning. The Whispering Woods were not done. The villagers broke down the cottage door. The Elias thing stood waiting, eyes cold and empty. "Where is Lena?" Thomas demanded. The creature opened its mouth. Lena's voice cried, "Help me!" Then others. The voices of everyone the forest had ever taken poured out. The creature's face shifted. Lena, the old man, the child, melting like wax. The villagers realized the forest did not just kill, it copied. It grew perfect replicas, sent back to live among them. The forest was planting spies among them. The villagers could trust no one. The nightmare was real. The horror spread through Oakhaven like a sickness. People looked at neighbors and family with suspicion. Who was real? Who was a copy? Then it happened again. Mara, the baker's daughter, changed overnight. Her smile gone, her eyes empty, Her family locked her in her room, terrified. One night they heard a voice from inside, not Mara's, but her father's, perfectly imitated. The next morning Mara's father was gone, another empty chair. The copy of Mara remained silent. The family was trapped in a nightmare, unable to tell anyone. The sickness spread quietly. The forest was replacing them, one by one. The villagers tore themselves apart with fear and suspicion. The woods no longer needed to hunt. The copies did the work for them. Oakhaven was falling. The invasion was silent, patient. The forest's hunger was endless. The rules were useless now. The border was meaningless. The woods were everywhere. The villagers' hope faded. The whispering woods were winning. The sickness would not stop. News of Oakhaven's nightmare reached Victor Hale, a scholar of strange phenomena. He came seeking answers, believing in logic, not monsters. He listened to the villagers, studied the pile of leaves from Elias's cottage, and examined Mara's copy. He found plant matter from a tree no one recognized, and a strange, glowing fungus on the roots. Victor theorized the fungus was a parasite, capturing people through their voices, using their bodies as compost to grow perfect replicas. The copies lured more victims, spreading the infection. Victor's logical explanation was more terrifying than any ghost story. The forest was a predator, patient and cunning. The villagers begged him not to enter the woods. He stayed near the edge, collecting samples, filling jars with evidence. The fungus glowed with the same sickly green light seen in the copies. Victor wrote, "The forest learns, it grows, it replaces." The truth was clear. The woods were alive and they were hungry. Oakhaven was only the beginning. The infection could spread. The villagers' fear was justified. The whispering woods were a living nightmare. Victor's discovery changed nothing. The forest could not be reasoned with. The copies were already among them. Armed with Victor's discovery, the villagers decided to fight back. They would burn the forest to the ground. On a moonless night, they gathered torches and oil, marching to the wood's edge. Flames roared, devouring the undergrowth. For a moment, it seemed they might win. Then a thick green mist poured from the forest, smothering the fire. The flames died, leaving only blackened ground. The forest had defended itself. As the mist swirled, voices echoed from the trees. Elias, Lena, Mara's father, all whispering, "Join us." The villagers fled in terror, abandoning their homes and fields. Oakhaven was lost. The forest had won. The border was erased. The woods claimed everything. The villagers' hope was gone. The whispering woods were unstoppable. The hunger would spread. The voices would call again. The fire had failed. The darkness remained. The story was not over. The forest was patient. Oakhaven is empty now, the houses crumbling, the forest creeping in. On quiet nights, lights flicker in the windows, figures moving inside. They are the copies, living out empty lives, waiting for someone to wander by. Some villagers who fled were not who they seemed. The sickness spread to new towns. Soon the stories began again. A strange forest, voices calling, someone returning, wrong. The forest is never satisfied. It wants more. So be wary of deep, dark woods. Watch for signs, a friend who forgets a memory, a loved one whose eyes seem empty, a voice that feels wrong. Do not ignore these warnings. The danger is real. The copies are patient. They look just like us. If you hear a voice from the woods calling your name, do not answer. Cover your ears, turn away. Run if you must, because if you answer, the forest will know you, it will learn you, and soon it will grow a copy of you. That copy will go home to your family, while you become just another whispering voice in the trees. The story of Oakhaven is a warning. The woods are always hungry. The rules are simple. Never enter the whispering woods. Never answer the voices. Remember the empty chairs, and never forget what waits in the shadows.